Welcome to Just Get It In. We're going to focus on the lower back. We're going to get it moving, but we're also going to bring some engagement, some tone, really bring some tension through the tissues, through the lower back. But ultimately, we're going to tap into maybe one or two other things that also impact the quality of the lower back. So feel free to start on your back. Just knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Head to the floor or head just maybe on a pillow if that feels better for you. Take the right leg up, flex the foot, so draw the foot down. And then just interlace the fingers around the back of your right thigh, around the middle of your hamstrings. And then just bend those elbows and press that leg forward into the hands. Good. As you continue to have this push and pull effect, pulling with the arms and pushing forwards with the leg, take a breath or two. Good, slowly release that. Same thing, second leg, left leg up. Point the foot and then draw the foot down so you really feel the foot flexing and keep that. Hold the back of the left hamstrings probably around the middle of the hamstrings. Take the leg into a good stretch, maybe 70-80%, and then just bend those elbows. Good, you feel those hands pressing back into the leg press forwards into the hands. 2 or 3 breaths from here. Good. As you breathe out, slowly release that. Take the feet as wide as the mat or wider than your pelvis, knees wider than your pelvis. Pivot the feet on the heels and then just draw the legs over to the right and then back to the middle and then over to the left. Good. As you go side to side, take your time. Don't worry too much about whether you're doing stuff right or wrong. Just get moving the hips, moving your pelvis, moving your lower back, moving the bottom of your mid back. Good. You breathe however you breathe. Good. One more side to side. And then come all the way back to the middle. Feet flat, legs around as wide as your hips. Feet forwards of the knees, and then just bring your attention to the front of your hip points. You can feel them, the bony bits on the front of your pelvis. Just take the right front hip point towards the right foot, so you feel a swaying action of the pelvis to the left, and then front of left hip towards the left foot, and then you'll sway the pelvis to the right, and then just back and forth. Almost like a kind of a walking motion from the pelvis. Good. So I do this a lot to mobilize my lower back and back of the pelvis joints, your sacroiliac joints. And it's like with anything that we do in these sessions, everything is a suggestion, it's an option. If something doesn't feel right for your body, then please either get a second opinion or just skip it. Nice. And then come all the way back. Come all the way up. And just start in Sphinx. So elbows under shoulders, feet probably wider than bum, tops of feet to the floor. Press the forearms down, pull the chest forwards and up. Nice. Put the head in a good position. Feel like the neck is like a continuation of what your spine is doing. So you don't have to massively drop your head down, or you're not trying to just look up to the ceiling and compress the neck. Good. Just get a bit of opening through the front of that spine. Take a breath or two there. Whenever I work into the lower back, the lower back is almost like the middle of the back of your core. Core is really from diaphragm to pelvic floor, front, sides and back. So I want to work the front of the core as well. I want to get into my abdominals to support the back of the core. So front of the core supporting the back of the core. So just a few times, curl the belly and top of the thighs off the floor as if you're heading to forearm plank. And then lower the hips down, re-lift the chest. Good, just a few times, just curl the belly up, top of the thighs up, and then hips down, chest up. As you curl the belly up, you take your lower back out of that kind of back bend extension shape, more into a stronger, more stable position to bear load. Good, you flex those abdominals, so just a couple more times. And on the last one, an optional forearm plank. So curl the belly up, top of the thighs, tuck the toes, lift the thighs, forearms press, thighs lift, front ribs lift. Another breath. Good. Slowly release that. Head into a tabletop. Just step the left foot forwards, keep the right knee down. Put your hands on your hips and lift your chest. Just a few times. Draw the front of that right hip a little forwards and backwards. Good. Press the back foot firmly into the floor as you do so you're just warming up the front of your right hip. Good. Another breath as you do that. And then draw the hips forwards and a little down. Left hand just on top of the left thigh, right arm to the ceiling, and then just reach that upper body up and to the left. So you're side bending to the left. As you continue to do that, press the left hand down into the knee to give a little bit more lift in the torso. Another breath there. Good, slowly release that. Then downward facing dog. If you're new to yoga, just kind of create a shape where the bum is high, the feet are further back than the line of the bum, the arms are reaching forwards. Good. Rock forwards to plank. Put your knees down, hips down, belly down, chest. This time I want you to reach your arms back, lift the head and chest, curl that breastbone a little up and forwards, lift the legs, lift the arms. Keep the palms of the hands facing down. Good, you can point your feet or flex your feet. Doesn't really matter for this moment right now. Good, hands either side of the chest. Push back to tabletop. Right foot forwards, left knee down. Hands on your hips, you're just moving your pelvis forwards and backwards as you press simultaneously your back foot down into the floor. Good, keep the chest up, keep the eyes focused and keep the face relatively relaxed as you breathe, okay? Good, a couple more forwards and backwards. Good, bring the hips forwards, right hand on top of the right knee, left arm forwards and up, reach across to the right, back foot presses firmly down, right hand presses down into the knee. Another breath there. Good, breathe out, slowly release that. Step back into down dog. Rock forwards to plank. Lower down with control to the floor. Reach your arms out in front of you. So little fingers down, so you're karate chopping the floor. Tops of feet down. Head and chest a little up. Lift the left arm and right leg for a moment. And then slowly release. Right arm, left leg. And slowly release. Just do a few rounds of this. Left arm, right leg. And release. So just pausing at the top. Right arm, left leg. And release. Keep going. Try not to speed up. Good. Doing it for another 10 seconds. You breathe however you breathe. You can feel that tension going through the lower back. From one lat to the opposite glute. So right lat to left glute, left lat to right glute. Good. They form a big part of your posterior chain. Strengthen that thoracolumbar fascia in your lower back region, okay? Good. Come all the way back up for a moment. And then all the way onto your back for a glute bridge. And again, get some tension through the lower back. Knees bent. Feet flat, but feet ahead of the line of the knees rather than trying to pull the feet to the bum. Curl the front of your hips that you were moving earlier up towards the belly, so you feel that lower back flatten and then bump tuck under. And then push your feet down, lift your bum. Good. I want you to reach your arms up and overhead behind you, back of hands to the floor. Keep the feet pressing down, lift your bum up and push it firmly forwards. It won't really move forwards, but create the action of moving it forwards. Good. Lower belly draws a little bit in. Another breath or two here. And then come all the way down, hands and hips to the floor. Good, just draw the knees into the chest for a moment. And then put the feet flat on the floor. Cross the right ankle above the left knee, so a figure of 4. Pick up the left shin so it's parallel to the floor. Then for the first round, with both hands, just grip the outside of that right knee. And then with that right leg, press forward into the hands, and then with the hands, just pull back a bit. So you just stretch your right glute out, then you're asking it to work in a stretch position. Another breath. So you're stretching and almost strengthening at the same time in that stretch position. Good. Slowly release that. Feet flat. Switch over. Left over right. Right shin lifts up. Both hands grip the outside of that left leg. Good. Keep moving your right leg back a bit. Left leg presses into the hands. Hands resist. Hands are pulling back. Leg is pressing forwards away from the chest. Good. Slowly release that. Legs together. Right thigh on top of the left thigh. Bum wiggles a little to the right. Legs drop somewhat over fully towards the left. Right arm out to the right. So just a simple thoracic twist. Good. Another breath or two here. Good. Come all the way back up. Release the legs. Move the bum to the middle. Legs together. Left thigh on top. Bum a little to the left a few inches. Legs over to the right. Left arm reaching out to the left. Put your head and neck in a comfortable position. You don't have to fully look over to your left hand if you don't wish. Maybe just left of center. Good. Just steady, comfortable breathing. The best you can. Good. 2 more breaths. Good. Come all the way back. Just take a moment on your back. Take 2 or 3 breaths.